Denuvo continues to be a plague on PC gaming. I'm still amazed that this company has like any stake in the PC gaming sphere at all, because it seems like absolutely everyone understands that it's an objectively bad thing for both consumer and publisher. Denuvo's software is allegedly supposed to keep people from pirating the game, but not only does it not keep people from pirating the game, but it's been proven to cause a whole bunch of technical issues on like frame rate drops and stutters and just frame rates being capped much lower than they otherwise would be, as evidenced by all the games that have had Denuvo removed from their experience and instantly start running significantly better. Plus, you have all the added issues that come with Denuvo, like if Denuvo is not working, the whole game won't work. If Denuvo can't check your license, the whole game won't work. The game that you just paid for doesn't work because of this software that was shoved in there by the publisher, which ironically just encourages piracy because you are literally punishing the paying customer and not the people who stole the game, which I thought the whole purpose of DRM was to punish people stealing the game and reward the people who paid for it? Question mark. Denuvo is a joke. It's just a giant leech on the industry that's masquerading as a tool, and the people who run the company are a bunch of tools. And it seems like most of the PC gaming community is on the same page about that. But just like the last couple times we did a video like this, big shout out to Dreamari for making sure I know that not everyone's on the same page about that. So we're going to do another video of reading the Steam forums and just checking out the takes from all the Denuvo defenders, of which there are still many, like vehement defenders of Denuvo for some reason. People really love paying full price for legitimately inferior versions of the products that they're paying for. So be sure to let me know your least favorite thing about Denuvo down in the comments, and let's get started together. And yeah, in case you haven't seen the previous episodes of this series, I guess it's a series now, I've done a couple episodes of reading bad Denuvo defenders on the Steam forums. So go watch those if you like this. And if you like this, hit the subscribe button. Like and share this video to lock in your appreciation. Okay, let's just start reading these, because there's quite a few to go over, and they're really dumb. So this first batch are from the Steam forums for the first Berserker, which is a game that people have been recommending to me. I'm gonna have to throw that on my backlog. To my understanding, it's some kind of Souls-like type thing, like Bloodborne, Dark Souls type thing, or it's also possible that's actually something else that I'm thinking of, but I'm pretty sure that's this game. Apparently the game has Denuvo, so I guess I'll be waiting a little longer to try it. But Soul Reaper Axel responds to someone asking what the deal is with Denuvo, and they say, takes a few frames from you. Ah yes, a few frames. A few frames is all that Denuvo takes from you. I'm just gonna throw some interesting screenshots up on screen, in case you think this is just a matter of a few frames. I've said this before, but even if it were true that all Denuvo did was take a few frames from you, that's still you conceding the point that this is a piece of software shoved into the product that you're paying for. You didn't pay for this software, but it's being shoved into the product that you were paying for, and it, at best, hinders your performance a bit. Like, you realize that when you just say, like, ah man, all it does is take a few frames from you, you are admitting that it's a technical problem. You are admitting that it is a hindrance to the thing you are buying, even if this just a few frames thing were true. Even if we truly had no instances of Denuvo greatly hindering the performance of a game, even if we had no instances of Denuvo making a game unplayable because Denuvo itself wasn't working at the time you tried to play it. I wasn't aware of the fact that I paid for Denuvo. I thought I paid for this game, but now I can't play the game that I paid for, and that's on my computer because there's a problem with Denuvo, the thing I didn't pay for and was shoved onto my computer anyways. Are we seeing the problem here? When you defend Denuvo, you are at best, like at very best, defending worse performance in your games, all in the name of preventing piracy, when, again, you admit here that you are aware of the fact that if Denuvo wasn't there, it would be running better. Like, I usually don't like boiling arguments down that far, but I think here it makes sense. You are actively defending the inclusion of something in a product that makes the product worse, and you're just fine with it. FL5 Wolves says, then don't buy it. Simple. You won't because you want to pirate the game. Oh wait, it's Nexon's fault for not letting you pirate the game. Today I learned that if Denuvo is in a game, it can't be pirated, apparently. which, that's not even a little bit true. But I also love here that you're just like, well, then don't buy it. We put Denuvo in the game so more people would buy it. But if you don't want Denuvo in the game, well, just don't buy it then. So, is it about game sales or not? You're defending this thing being shoved into the game for the sake of increasing the game sales. But if someone doesn't want it there, you're like, well, don't buy it then. So why do you even want it? What? When people like me make fun of people like this and we call you corporate knob slobberers, this is really why. Because there's no real reason for you to defend Denuvo like this. There's no real reason for you to defend a technical hindrance on the product that you're paying for, unless your only objective is to defend the thing, or rather defend the corporation that's providing the hindrance, not the product, the hindrance. Denuvo is not providing the game, they're providing the hindrance. But here you are telling people not to buy the game because they don't want to support the hindrance. And here you are openly supporting the hindrance and telling people to buy the game despite the hindrance, all in the name of defending the game? Question mark? You're just kind of dumb, actually, is what's happening here, I think. Moving on, Ichigo Mate says they want to pirate the game, nothing else. It probably has no performance impact. You would have to be CPU bottlenecked. Any tests people have done in terms of performance were comparing an older version of the game with Denuvo to a newer version of the game without Denuvo, ignoring CPU bottlenecks and any optimization differences between game versions. There are no comparisons where they are just comparing no Denuvo versus Denuvo with no other changes to the game. The only game that I would be interested to see with and without Denuvo difference would be Dragon's Dogma 2, but only if they manage to do it by not having no other changes to the game besides the removal of Denuvo. So you say people don't like Denuvo simply because they want to pirate the game, and then you write a long-ass essay about how Denuvo impacts the performance of games, but also that's somehow okay. So it's about piracy, it's not about game performance, but also there is a difference in game performance, and we're just not understanding where the criticism's coming from. We're boiling the criticism down to it's just about piracy, and then we openly admit that there's performance differences with and without Denuvo. Are you serious right now? I always love when people do this. People constantly do this when they know they have no argument, but they try to make an argument anyways. It's like people are making this criticism. Well, that criticism's stupid, and I'm going to now write a long, lengthy response to explain why it's stupid, but you don't actually have any reasons why it's not stupid. So you end up accidentally agreeing with the people who say it's stupid. Like, hey, what's the deal with Denuvo? People just want to pirate the game. Oh, it's not about performance issues? Well, there's performance issues, but it's about piracy. Wait, but if it's about piracy, why are there performance issues? Well, Dragon's Dogma 2. Oh, okay. And even if you want to make the isolated incident argument, even if you want to say like, oh, Dragon's Dogma 2 was just particularly bad. Dragon's Dogma 2 was like just one particular instance where it was bad. Okay, then you're agreeing still that it led to the thing being bad, because in your own words, Denuvo is the lone thing responsible for those issues. Did you realize you did that? I don't think you did. Ugh, I swear, you people are so weird. You people are so weird. This is what I mean when I say it seems like you guys just want to defend Denuvo. You just want to defend corporations because a corporation said you had to. There's no reason to do this. There's no reason to do this. You didn't have to enter the ring here, especially if you had nothing to say. But now, here you are, entering the ring, seemingly with the sole purpose of defending Denuvo, and you have no defense of Denuvo. In your defense of Denuvo, you just admit that there are legitimate problems with Denuvo. And even if you want to make the argument, even if the argument you're making here is that, it's just Dragon's Dogma 2, people are just mad because Dragon's Dogma 2 was a particularly bad example. It's not a widespread problem, it's just there's particularly bad examples. Well, there wouldn't be any particularly bad examples if it wasn't there at all. It does not provide any actual benefit to the consumer, and you agree that it's capable of causing particularly bad performance. So what I'm hearing is that it at best does nothing, and at worst causes problems. It sounds to me like it shouldn't be there, right? Alright, you guys had an assignment. You were supposed to make your names as dumb as possible. You had like 4 or 5 days without a doofus club, and you had to make your names really dumb, so I'm gonna put the thing in the middle here instead of the end, and we're just gonna see how dumb you guys get, so let's just fucking read this. Cloaked Onyx and Omega, JJ Dusty, Hail Denuvo, Pub Cobb, Stop It. Codman4372WX, The Gamer 127YT, Joe, have you tried Crab Champions? Father Joe, when are you joining the voice chat? Shock My Nipples, Gold Pyrax, Zombie Fan, Alderoth01, I shit on my floor the whole time you were gone, Joe, Ultimate Jack, Doug Nigsy, Blast 1314, Snake Eyes 327, Devastator 2000, Edge Knight 1789, Raptor 1, it's Gamer Word, not Gamer World, get it right, Joey Wild Gamer 2001, Sadney Freighter, YK, MK2396E, The Crocodile in the Moat, Got Me, Joe, Help, Hand Thigh, X Machina Gamma, Elite Wolf, Fire Hazard 105, Epion 504, If You Read As You Gay, Klepto Penguin, Banshee, Partial Mean 8, GWXSS, Doom, Kaiju, Rast the Wolf, Evan Co, Okie Toodles, Tech Gaming, Jungle Zone, Slim Jim, Really Zard Gaming when Dead People Better Fondue, All Games Video, this giant thing that I cannot fucking read, I'm gonna run that through Google and see what the fuck this is. And it's listings for Neon Elic storage on the Steam Marketplace. It's a Rust thing. Bro, what is happening? Max Killer V2 Gaming, Biscuit 1101, PS5 has Infinite Bacon, Horizon Forbidden West Remastered, Pope Raphael the Rat King, Jessica Shepard, Riki Spiral, Riki Tiki Tabby, Muskie, Joe's Keyboard Fun, Krumi the Steel Angel, Who Do You Voodoo, Woo Hoo Doofy Woofy. Smash Jump, Sergeant Jason Bond, Baron Von Voderham, Cyrus failed the homework, admonish me, Joe, forgot to change my name, now I can't afford to fix it. True Texican 940, Sense Nakage, Yingbo, and Nenami, East Mist United Establishmentarianism. Fun, that was fun. Hinoka's #1 Saudi fan, Creed Warrior 23, Max Chev, Itchy Nads, time to scratch, am I right, chaps? Totally Insane, Vendetta Autry, Black Cobra, Non Voila, Vox Alton, Knife Cypher, Reborn Me with the fan art, ML04, I own 6 copies of Click 2006 on Blu-ray with the fan art, Harmon's Hair Grease Supplier, Wolf of Midnight, Stick Rider, The Pig Venus, Kev Dog 1992, Steve Wynn Studios, Phil McCracken, The Beesoms, Ohm Gaming, Tariq Brown, Tom from Spokane, Hero Culture, Thornskate, Maganex, Severin Evans, Mr. Spawning 03, The Catalina, Freaking Y Mixer, Pow Pow, Why Trouble, Donnie Weston, Nick Donegan, Gob Gobson, Rogue Winter 919, Bobby Hinner, Grimsy, Sengoku Rants. I don't know what that is. Hangman for Hire, Elton the Noble, Frost Crystal, Jimmy Chops, Biogenesis, Ian in Action, Floppy Pingus 97, Michael Musial, Mega Key, Skrishka, The Scruffy Skull, Ghost Ho, Ryusagi, The Jojo 6, Vasco, Vemtanka. You guys did not do the homework. Raptor Tim, Omnisef 94, Blue Hook from Joe, forgot to cancel, now I can't pay the ransom. The Return of the King, but it's upside down. Schnorlaxon, I'm high as a kite as I write this. Jody Breeze, Smitty Worker, Jaeger Man Jensen, Max Laurel Massimo, Demetrius Papajolo, Nick Advertisement, Diego Garcia, Hey It's Maddie, Kibikins, I American Idiot, Rebel Blood 80, Amongo Taco, The End is Never, The End is Never, The End is Never, The End is Never, The Last of Us, Cope. The Last of Us is boring. Cope. Oh no, it's Justin, Rand, Roy, Tooney, Wayne, Bloodline, Extreme Wolf 7, Joey Scoops, my name is Mud, Joe Taku, stop burning Joe's chicken, I'm fucking hungry, calm, breathe in, breathe out, go for the last 10, Wannabe Hobo, Jidge, Westa, Bullet 310 Char, Rob C, I am Veg, The Groovy Banana, Curtin Allen Spack, The Scrum Master. I own 4 copies of Tangled 2010 on Blu-ray. Jeez. So some of you got the homework right. The rest of you, something will have to be done about you. Okay, back to the video. Macarian says Denuvo is an anti-pirate tool. Some trolls still spread that it's spyware and causes lag. I've never had any issues, just ignore them. Yeah, no, it's trolling. It's trolling that it's spyware and can cause lag. All that hard evidence of it causing lag in games, that's just trolling. All those very legitimate concerns about how deep it can go into your computer without your consent, that's just trolling. Like, with how deep Denuvo goes into your computer, and how hard it is to get off your computer if you're trying to remove it, you can absolutely make the argument that it can be classified as spyware. Like, what it's doing in your computer and what it has the authority to do in your computer, you can absolutely classify this as spyware. You may not personally call it spyware, or at least not in the traditional sense, but what Denuvo literally is, you can absolutely and pretty easily make the argument that it can be classified as spyware. But no, that's just trolling. It's trolling to point that out, by the way. It's all trolling. Pay no attention to the actual literal screenshots and tests that people do. Those aren't real. I don't like that people point those things out, therefore it's all trolling. Here's a screenshot that Dreamari sent me from a different forum. I took these screenshots like a few days ago, so I forget which forum this is from, but it's from some game where Denuvo was there, then Denuvo was removed. This is a screenshot from the Steam forums after Denuvo was removed from this game. Now that I mention it, I think it was Final Fantasy. Rusher says, and purchased, even when I got it on PlayStation already, wanted to buy it first day to support the devs, them releasing their games here, but like 15, it came with that garbage. Yeah, it's Final Fantasy. Dedicated to those who called me a pirate. Then Diabolical Taco responds, and yet SE still doesn't care about your contribution, and no, they didn't remove Denuvo just because of a lost sale. They removed it because they don't feel like continuous payments to Denuvo. People with this attitude seem to think that they're in the majority, but the reality is you're simply part of a very loud minority. Wait, so the payments to Denuvo... This is what I mean when I say Denuvo is a fucking leech that contributes absolutely nothing with the industry. You think Square Enix removed Denuvo from a Final Fantasy game because they were tired of continuous payments to Denuvo? So Square Enix, one of the biggest publishers in the world, and according to you, this is your account of things, Square Enix didn't want to deal with paying a significant amount of money, because if it was an insignificant amount of money, then the payment wouldn't be a problem. So you think Square Enix was paying a significant amount of money to Denuvo, and they wanted to stop paying that money, and they thought the money that they were paying to Denuvo was too much when considering how much money they were making off of the sales of the game on PC. So Denuvo was taking in your account here, Denuvo was taking a substantial enough chunk out of Square Enix's PC revenue that they had to cut ties. And you don't think this is a good thing for literally everyone. By your own account, Denuvo is being a fucking leech on the industry. And you don't think it's a good thing that this ends. Wow. Razzle says, I'm tired of y'all lying about Denuvo. I have no strong opinions on it. I mean, for someone with no strong opinions on it, you sure are writing a long thing in defense of them. I never knew it was even in the games I played because it doesn't show up or tell you it's there. It's just them trying to prevent piracy, which is their choice. Everyone be like, OMG, performance have shit PCs. Or just lying that it's better when Denuvo out, either lying to us or us plus themselves. I remember people making before and after comparison videos, and before were also before all the optimization patches. Everyone has an agenda in these, hence why I can't trust these. So, you think when Denuvo is removed from a game and the game performance gets better, you think that's actually also because of performance patches, not just Denuvo being removed. You do realize that many people have done tests on what a game plays with and without Denuvo. The same version, Resident Evil springs to mind, that people were testing that game, like same version of the game with and without Denuvo, and the without Denuvo version ran noticeably better. Also, I never even knew it was in the games I played because it doesn't show up or tell you it's there. Yeah, so you weren't thinking about it, so the game ran one way. You had no comparison. I didn't notice a comparison because I didn't have a comparison. Yeah, thanks, Einstein. I can say that about literally anything. And then you say that people who are complaining about performance have shit PCs. So if your game played a certain way and then it suddenly started performing better, does that mean you have a shit PC, or does that mean I removed the leech? You moron. JVC says nobody cares why Joe Random doesn't like copyright protection. Oh, copyright protection. I thought it was piracy protection. Like, I love when the Denuvo defenders can't even keep their own stories straight. Because, I mean, I thought this was about piracy, now it's about copyright. Some people don't like paying at the checkout when leaving a store. If you want to run a store on the trust me bro principle, feel free. If you prefer to not be paid for your work, feel free to offer your boss not to pay you. I prefer stores where they actually check that people pay for their shopping, just as my boss has to pay me for my work. Simple idea. Today I learned that PC games just don't make money without Denuvo. Sheesh, if it weren't for Denuvo, PC gaming would just there would just be no money anywhere. Are you dumb? What am I even supposed to say about this one? Also, your store analogy is stupid, so let me make my own. There's a grocery store, right? And there's a bunch of eggs, since everyone's talking about fucking eggs now. You go into your grocery store, and there's a sign that says eggs, $50. And you take a carton of eggs, you go pay for it, it's $50, then you walk out the door, and the eggs kind of taste like ass, But then you have your buddy who stole a carton of those $50 eggs and then opens his carton and is like, oh, wow, look at that. My eggs taste amazing. These eggs are great. And that seems to happen every single time. You pay for your eggs and they taste worse than the guy who stole the eggs. So one of two things is going to happen here. You're either going to start stealing the eggs as well, or you're going to go somewhere else for eggs. Congratulations, your own analogy is garbage. Like, it's not baffling to me. It is a little baffling. At least, it's not surprising to me when console dudes run with the PC gamers don't buy games thing. It is baffling to me when PC gamers perpetuate the PC gamers don't buy games thing. That's just confusing. What are you doing here? I promise you that not every game in your Steam library has Denuvo. Did you pay for those? Yes? Okay. That's all the evidence we need that Denuvo is useless. Also, just because a game has Denuvo in it doesn't mean that it can't be pirated, as evidenced by the literal dozens of games with Denuvo in them that have been cracked. You fucking egghead. Your head is a basket of eggs, not even good eggs. Shitty eggs. Small ones. Ping pong ball sized eggs, 6 of them, minimum, in your head, in a basket. Get at, go away. Okay, one more, because I can only take one more, and I have so many of these screenshots. There's absolutely going to be another episode of this series. Bobby says, your whole life is Denuvo. What are you worried about a game for? What are you worried about a game for? You're on the Steam forums, buddy. People talk about games here. Then what are you worried about a game for? You're on the Steam forums. What did you think people talked about here? You're tracked, photographed, and filmed without your permission hundreds if not thousands of times a day, yet you don't complain about that. Yes we do. You really think people don't complain about being tracked, photographed, and filmed without their consent? You really think people don't complain about that? Also, you really think that's equatable to fucking Denuvo in video games? What? Your phone is tracking you between triangulation points, GPS, photographs, transport apps, and so it bloody goes on, but a game's more important, laughing my fucking arse off. Dude, I say it again. What did you think people talked about here? You're on the Steam forums. Of course people are talking about games and not IRL digital tracking. Of course what? It's like with every episode of this series that I do, every time I talk about Denuvo defenders, it's like the arguments just get dumber. I've never seen people so eager to defend something that does nothing for them. Denuvo does not prevent piracy. All it does is slow it down. Denuvo does not make your experience as a consumer better, so if this software is being shoved into video games with the justification being that it stops piracy and strengthens your experience, tell me why it is still possible to pirate games with Denuvo in them, and tell me why that on the experience side, on the performance side, it at best does nothing. So it doesn't serve its purpose as an anti-piracy tool, and it at best keeps things the same way that they would be otherwise. That's best case scenario. Best case scenario is it does nothing. Tell me why it's there. Best case scenario is it does nothing. Worst case scenario is it breaks everything. Explain to me why it should still be there. Oh, you can't? Great. Fucking stop. Toodles.